Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to this next session. I was looking at the video that we just played, saying founder, and I read it co-founder, and I was like, founder and co-founder. That's going to be a very strange thing, but it says founder and co-CEO of Pickit. Yes, the founder and the co-CEO of Pickit is with us. His name is Henrik. Pickit were part of our conference last year, and yet again, just to remind everyone, we're going to be talking about DAM solutions, and yet again, just for you to know, if there is a product that changed dramatically in this last year, I think that is their product. So I'll leave it to Henrik to show you what a DAM solution is, and for him to show you what is actually Pickit and why is it still the number one downloaded thing for PowerPoint. Henrik, take it away.
Thank you, Boris, and thank you for letting us be here again. And as you said, the product has changed a lot the last years and the last year. I, however, haven't changed at all. I have the same hat, the same Swedish, English language, and so on. But today we will have a session around Pickit. We added the word DAM. That word means digital asset management. That's the environment, the industry that we work in. So today I will talk about how you can work smarter with DAM-powered docs and presentations. And what's better than working with pain points? We will talk about pain points today, the 5 pain points. And for you who doesn't know anything about Pickit, it started actually with a pain point. I'm the co-founder of this company. The other part of this co-founder duet is Matthias. And Matthias is a person he's awesome at so many things, but not at creating PowerPoints. He is a sales guy, business development guy, and my history is art direction, design, and so on. So I turned out to be his personal PowerPoint creator back in the days. And we realized that that's actually a problem. That's a pain point because I didn't have time to create his presentations. And once we got a hold of that, we realized that it's not only Matthias who has this problem. It's 2 billion people, white collars around the world, that has this problem. They want to create something. They see something in front of them, but they are just not able to create that themselves. What also happened at that moment, it's around 10 years ago, is that we realized that there are like 4,000 PowerPoints created every second. And that's just an amazing number. I think it's more, even though I know that Canva is here and other presentation tools. We create a lot of presentations, and that also was the starting point for us to create this business idea that you see in front of you at the moment that is called Pickit. It has developed from being an individual service for people who works in PowerPoint mostly to become a business product for companies who are using a lot of images, and I want to put that in front of everyone's fingertips in the organization into a DAM system, digital asset management. We call it DAM Smart, DAM Simple, and I will probably give you a good idea about why we call that smart and simple. Let's start off with the first pain points. So this is I would say a rather normal situation for someone that is working in PowerPoint and is about to create or starting to create something. And the surprise here is that we, on average, as users in PowerPoint or Google Slides or not Canva, I'm not saying that today, but we spend 20 hours a month trying to find documents, images, logos, creating presentations and so on. And we ask ourselves, why? Why do we spend so much time here? And we've done research during the years, and we found out that there are like 5 main pain points that are the reason for why we are frustrated around this topic. The first pain point is that you have an ambition, like Matthias, you have an ambition, you want to say something, you feel that your PowerPoint should help you to really make an impact. So you have a high ambition when you start, and maybe you lack the skills or the talent or the experience to do that. And that's frustrating. That's something that I think many of you could, maybe not in this conference, but many people around the world can experience that pain point. The other part is that we have a lot of scattered files. That means that we have almost like a scattered situation when you start working with your presentation or a document, you have things all over. You have to log into different systems, platforms, hard drives, and so on, to create a simple presentation. You need to find pieces everywhere. The third part here is the formatting jungle. We call it the formatting jungle, and it's a cropping tool that you can see here. I think we all been here. I've been here several times. So we spend a lot of hours, minutes, or whatever it might be, frustration, into finding out why is things not working in PowerPoint and other systems. And it's a complicated word. It's a little bit technical, and it might be advanced for people as well. The fourth pain point that we experience is that it's a lack of inspiration or guidance for me, who is not the expert of creating slides or creating presentations or creating documents. So I'm kind of on my own here. I need to figure out what I want to do. That's a problem. That's a pain point. And the fifth one is that you lose energy in the process. So that means that you become slower and slower at doing this presentation the longer you work with it, and it's not efficient. So these 5 pain points, I will just quickly go through them today and show you how Pickit could solve that solution, or a dam in general, at least a modern dam. The first one here, high ambitions. Why do we have high ambitions? Yeah, for once we've seen this conference, so all of us who has seen all these nice presentations, we are thinking, wow, I want to do that. We all seen a great presentation. Once we've done that, we want to create that ourselves. We cannot just leave that. Of course, we are stuck to do things the way we can, but we have the ambition, and it's always a little bit higher than we can execute on. And that's a frustrating moment, and you might spend hours on trying to figure out how to do that. So that's a pain point that we have to live with, and hopefully we can solve that. This pain point is about open, login, find, download, and then repeat open, login, find, download, and do that over and over and over again, because this is how you kind of pick your pieces to create the presentation. Let me just give you one example of how that could look. I have my 7 doors here. I'm about to meet my partner. I'm selling one good idea to my partner. And what do? Yeah, I need to start with my company template. I need to find it somewhere. I need to open that door, go to SharePoint, find the template, open it up. Next thing, I need to kind of relate to my partner. So I need a partner logo. Where is that one? It might be on my hard drive if I worked with it before with this partner, or it might be on Google. I need to leave my environment, go out and search for it and download it. The fourth thing is that I need to add a really nice image to my slide. And where's the image bank? Maybe I need to go outside or to an intranet or somewhere to find this image bank and add an image to my presentation. Next thing is that I need to find out if I'm right on the brand colors, because I have an old presentation and I need to just check if the colors are right. Then I need to enter another door. It might be that we have something on the intranet, or it might be on our web page, or I might ask someone with an email. The fifth, I need a commercial video, and then I'm entering, because I need also the company presentation. I have a few slides there that I need to have, the company history and so on. And then lastly, I might need a price list. So here you have 7 doors that I'm just opening up, downloading, trying to find the material, just to create a simple presentation. When you work with Pickit, you have everything in one place. This is just a screenshot of a simplified PowerPoint environment, and you have an icon called Pickit. When you click on that icon, you basically open up a world where you have access to everything. Everything is at your fingertips. So if I go to this PowerPoint template, it's in the document section of Pickit. And as you can see, the arrow is pointing to towards that. Then I need this partner logo. And if you work with partners, you probably will have that logo accessible from the media menu in Pickit. Next thing is that I need to add images, and that's very simple doing that from Pickit. So you can just click images right into your layout, and I will show you that later in a live version. I need to know a bit about the identity, and I have a button here all the way to the right where I can access my corporate identity guideline. and I can access and find out the colors immediately. I can also, of course, download the commercial, the video that I wanted for my presentation. I can go into the company presentation, and I can not only open up the presentation, I can pick slides from it directly. And then, of course, lastly, I can find the price list that is in the document section. So everything that you basically had to go out and in from different environments to get access to, you have access to that in a DAM system like Pickit. So this simplifies and makes the work so much easier for you to do. Then we have the formatting jungle. The formatting jungle is many things, I guess. I mean, it's of course up to you. How good are you at this? But it's also what you have access to. If you're not a good person to this, you should, or in formatting your own slides or whatever it might be, you need good material. And a simple image like this could be looking different based on who's working with it. And I think many of you guys have seen this cropping version of an image where you just basically just squeeze it. And this doesn't look professional. And many templates, I think, are not adjusted to today's need for so many visuals that we have. And especially if you have a brand that you treat well, and that when you have a lot of brand assets, a lot of communication material, and then you squeeze an image like this is not professional. So if you have bad templates, that means bad presentations. When I say bad templates, it's mostly about formatting. Of course, it's about design as well, and what kind of options you have. But if you do bad presentations, that's also bad business. And just a short story about clipart. I guess many of you knows about clipart, and we were competing with clipart back in the days and had a better solution, of course, but clipart was so popular. And one of the reasons why clipart was so popular was just that people wanted to pimp their presentation in some way. And since it's really hard to work with images, fonts, and so on, you just popped in a nice clipart. And then you voila, you had your own presentation. You kind of pimped it, you had your own little trademark on that presentation. But it's not so good if you want to align with the brand visuals and create impact for your business. So I know every one of you, you're probably not working with cliparts anymore, but this was the case. And it's still, we still see images or slides like this. I will give you a short introduction to Pickit. So here I am with Pickit, and as just a visual, and what you see here is the documents part. So if I'm just going out from this preview mode, I will just show you how Pickit works. So as you saw here, I clicked on this icon, and I can click on this documents icon, and I go into a document section. And here I have templates, I have documents, I have PDF files, and so on. And I can just click on templates. And here you see I have a few templates, and I can just directly open that template from this environment. And it's open up in a new document, and I can start working with it. And here I have access to Pickit always when I open a new document. And here I can start to populate my presentation with the latest images from my marketing department. So I can just double click on an image like this, and I can just put it straight into my layout. I can also go into an image and decide which size I want to add into my layout, if I want a smaller size for that image, or if I want to go with medium, like I'm doing here. And I can just continue doing this and make sure that I have a great slide or a great deck that aligns with my brand. What I also can do in this in our environment is that I can go to the company presentation, like I mentioned before. I can go into this presentation. I can say, I don't want to open the full presentation. I want to preview it, and I want to choose some slides that I like here. So I can just add those slides straight into my layout, and I can just continue select whatever I need, whatever I want to use here. And all presentations, templates that you have in Pickit are related to each other. So the design and the formatting and the theme is aligning with whatever you use and whatever you pick from. But if you have another team in your that you work with at the moment, you can also make sure that this slide individually adopt to that theme that you work with. So if you have colors and other things that you want to adopt to, you can just choose to adopt it straight into your existing theme. That was it. I'll go back to my presentation here. And of course, like we mentioned, and I hope you mentioned that also, Boris, that if you have questions, we will save that for the end of this presentation. So next thing, well, I'm not a marketing pro, and this was something that, going back to Matthias and the original story about Pickit and the pain point that we saw, you are 2 billion people out there that are not educated, you don't have the skills, and if we ask you, I'm from this more professional side of the world in terms of design and marketing communication. If you ask you to place a cool image somewhere, it's pretty hard to find that cool image, especially if it should align with the brand and so on. So that's not a good question to ask someone that is not into this. There are, however, like 100,000 professional communicators, brand expertise persons around the world. And if we were asked to place a cool image here, we will spend weeks or months or even years to find that image that no one has seen before. We are looking for the needle in the haystack. But if you ask a white collar, someone that has a deadline, I want to produce something fast, I have this meeting, it's really hard. You want 10 cool images to choose from. If someone says this is 10 cool images, these are the 10 cool images that we align with our brand, please choose one from these. It's so much easier. And that's exactly how Pickit works. You just have a collection with images that someone has put there, and it's so easy for you to just get those images, select the one that you like, put it into the layout, and voila, you have a nice design. You have a cool image. You have created this presentation on your own. So being a white collar, not super professional, not looking for the needle in the haystack, you can still be a creative person finding out the right image for your presentation. Okay, the last part here, the lack of energy. And we all know when we run, if we are running in a sprint or whatever, we have to say something for the end. And this dangerous thing with the lack of energy here is that when you create the presentation or if you create a document, the actual reason why you create that is the actual meeting or when you send it. And if you don't have the energy to perform at the moment where you should perform, that's a hard thing. That's not good for your company or not good for you as well. So the lack of energy is quite dangerous if you work in this environment or if you work with presentations. And I think one thing that is really important from a DAM point of view is that you can access things from one identity. So if you have Microsoft and you have your Microsoft account, you should be able to access everywhere from that account. You shouldn't be searching for different passwords or anything like that. And the same thing with Google, of course. Just to give you a short glimpse of what we have in Pickit is that if you access that with your Google account or your Microsoft account, you can just basically go to the web page and you have the same environment here as you have in the desktop version of PowerPoint. I can go to Word, like here, Word Online, and you see I have the same environment here, and I can access things from Word Online. I can go to PowerPoint Online. Oh, sorry, I just need to do that. Here's PowerPoint Online. I can go into Teams. I can find the same content, and I can find, of course, my saved content. I can also go into Google Slides, and I can find the content here. So it doesn't matter where you are. You can access this with your Microsoft account or Google account for that reason. Okay, so with that said, also just a final thing here, you have more in Pickit. Not only documents and media, like I showed you, you have something called boards. This is just a glimpse of that, but boards are basically a tool where the marketing, brand, sales department can create mini websites and wrap content basically in a context. So you can have a report or you can have a product release, and all the new material, all information, all downloadables, all sales collateral can be packaged into a board like you see here. We also have a few things in the system. One thing that is very popular is our image bank. That is about 1 million images that are legally clear that you can just click. And if the company media images are not enough, or you need something for any other purpose, you can go in and enter an image bank where you can just add images from that. We have also a small part here that is an academy for helping you in a very basic way to add some storytelling basics, or adapt your deck for impact based on how you present it or where you present your presentation. So going from those 20 hours and the frustration you experience many times when you work with docs and slides and of course PowerPoint and Word, you can now spend less time on the frustrating things and create more impactful presentations. So as a summary of what Pickit is, you can ask yourself, why should you use a DAM? Well, to summarize, DAM makes your environment so much more productive. Productivity is increasing all over. Of course, from the people around you who are working with the digital assets and the brand assets, they have a way to sort this easier. And also, you are in more control. You know that you create decks with compliant material. You know that you are on brand. You don't have to think about that. You can skip that and just focus on what you are supposed to do. And lastly, of course, it's about impact. Impact is super important here. And impact is not that you know everything about the brand, or that you can talk about the brand statements or mission or vision. It's that you use the material. It's that you execute on templates, images, and all that you have in your company that are valuable assets. So with that said, I think I used my 20 minutes. I'm not really sure, but I hope.
You're fine, no worries whatsoever. We used a little bit more, but that's not a problem. Don't worry about it. I know that also Brad is also in the chat, who is also from Pickit. There is one question in the Q&A area from Jacek, who is asking whether or not Pickit can be used offline. But I would ask you guys to please follow up with Jacek afterwards. You can just click on his profile and send him a direct message. Everyone who have more questions, Brad mentioned it and put it in the chat, that you can also ask them, not just here in the session itself, but also at the expo booth. And from your session, Henrik, I really hope that, and I'm actually sure that people can already imagine what would it be if I had this in my organization, right? Now, probably, at least for, I would say, for the most part of our audience, is the time for you to, whenever you find the time and whenever the discussion and the moment is right, to say to the respective person or to the responsible person, to the decision maker, hey, there is a solution for that, right? And it's called whatever, and just send the link to a platform like Pickit, and from there it should be on their side to decide and do whatever is needed. However, you guys, all of you can test it out. You can just book a slot, from what I know, from the expo booth, and you are going to do a free trial and a demo for everyone that wants to see more about the product. So Henrik, thanks again so much for joining us. This was a great overview of what you guys have done in the last 1 year.